Hi everyone, this is Anthony Flatt and welcome to my Pruvit update video. This is my update after having taken Keto OS for 1 year. My first video, Keto OS video that I made was November 1st of last year. So today's November 1st and it's the anniversary of that first video. So I wanted to make an update video and give you guys an idea of where I'm at today. So first, you'll notice I'm going to be reading my notes. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I do keep my notes and read my notes. I'm not a professional speaker or TV personality or anything, so I want to make sure that I touch on the points that I've written down. Also, you'll notice that if you've watched any of my videos, we're not in my office today. We're actually in a little studio that I built in my house, a little classroom whiteboard studio. I'm going to be doing some training. I've already created some training programs for small businesses. I'm going to be doing some other training. Look at anthonyflatt.com and you can check that out. Send me an email and I'll give you my email address at the end, and I'll let you take some of those courses and stuff for free. But that's why we're here. This is my little training studio, and it looks a little different than my office. We'll do some more videos later in my office, but my office is a mess at the moment. So anyways, let's start off with the usual disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I don't play a doctor on TV. Before you do anything that I say or anybody else says, check it out for yourself. Make sure you consult with your doctor before you start any kind of health and wellness, fitness, diet plan, any programs like that. So really take anything and everything I say and anything and everything else you see on the internet or you hear from friends or whatever, and really do your own research. I've done a lot of research, and I've really learned why a lot of these things are and where the misnomers are and where people kind of get things a little bit wrong. They hear one part of something and they go down a path of thinking that they're now an expert on it. So really research what I'm talking about and anything else you hear from anybody on your health in your fitness. Go to your doctor and make sure that they clear anything that you do. Make sure you're good there. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Do they even say that anymore? I know they did when I watched Saturday morning cartoons on the TV, on that black and white box with the antenna on it. Younger kids, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Cartoons used to only be on in the morning. We had 4 channels, 3, 6, 7, and 42. For those of you that know what those channels are and where they're at, you know where I'm from. For fun, if you get a chance, type down in the box and tell me where you think I'm from based on those channels. But anyways, let's get back on track here. So it's been a year. I've lost over 50 pounds. Hooray, yay. I've kept it off. Hooray, yay. So that's great. But my goal was to lose 100 in 12 months, lose 100 pounds in 1 year. And I didn't get there. You know, what happened? Well, lots of things, but basically it boils down to life happened and Anthony happened. You know, I was doing really well from November to about May. And then in May, my wife and I went on a 16-day Alaskan 20th anniversary wedding vacation, and kind of blew it. The first 5 days we were in Fairbanks and then Denali, and I did pretty good there. But then for the next 7 days we were on a cruise, an Alaskan cruise, and you guys know what's on a cruise ship, right? Food, right? If you didn't get that, let me translate it for you. Carbs, carbs, right? And I didn't do so well. And I didn't take my Keto OS twice a day like I had been taking it, and I didn't stick to eating low carb, high fat. I ate what was there, and most all of it was carbs, and it was delicious. But I gained about 10 to 12 pounds in that 16 days. So what happened? You know, I came back. I got back on taking my Keto OS twice a day. Got back to eating low carb, high fat. Basically, I eat meat and vegetables and salads. And I don't eat breads, and I don't eat breaded things, and I don't eat things with sugar in them or very, very little sugar if possible. And I lost, you know, that 10 to 12 pounds within 2 weeks, a couple weeks. So that was great. Back on track again, ready to roll. Well, not really. Basically, I haven't really lost any more weight since then, since about the June timeframe. Now, the good news is I haven't gained any weight, but I haven't lost any weight. So, the natural question is going to be, okay, Anthony, what happened? Why did it stop working? Um, well, it didn't stop working. It's all about what I did or what I did not do. And if you notice, I said what I did. I really believe it's important to take responsibility for your own actions, right? And to be honest with yourself, to really look at things and not try to find excuses or ways to blame your situation or life or people or whatever. This is you. I mean, I got fat by the things that I ate. I lost 50 pounds by the things that I did, and with lots of help from other people. And now I've not lost any weight in the last few months. Now I've changed jobs. We've had life things going on. I could make all kinds of excuses for why that happened, but that's the fact. I got very comfortable losing that 2.2 pounds a week average that I had been averaging for the first 6-7 months, and I started to cheat here and there. And when I cheated, it didn't seem to change things. And so I ended up cheating more and not following through and not writing down what I'm eating, not watching what I'm eating as much. And that's a slippery slope, because once you start, then it just makes it okay to have that next thing and that next thing, and then it's a have one bad day of eating, then you have a couple bad days, and then a week, and then So now I've been taking Keto OS all along, but I'll be honest and say that some days I took two, some days I took one, some days maybe I even forgot. I don't know that I've ever forgotten completely, but maybe I have. But it not been consistent, at all. And I just wasn't into my habit of doing the things that I've been doing. Um, so one of the big things with the cheating is as I stopped taking the Keto OS, it became harder to resist the carbs and the sugars and stuff. Now, I didn't go full bore into what I had before. I wasn't eating a lot of snack foods. I wasn't eating a lot of fast food. But I was eating things that were breaded. I was eating things that I knew had preservatives and sweeteners and came out of a box and whatnot. Not every day. I still kept, I always tried to get in a good protein. I tried to get in a salad, but there was a lot of the bad stuff in there. And I could say boo-hoo, have a little pity party. I can't figure it out. It's not working. Yeah, boo-hoo, whatever. It's you're gonna have to do it. So I just had to figure out. Okay, well, what's going on here? Why did I stop losing weight? All right, and really, I just kind of came back to what are the facts, right? So let's look at some of the facts. Fact, when I took Keto OS twice a day, I usually lost weight, right? Now remember, Keto OS is not a diet program. I'm not here to prescribe that it's a diet program. It is therapeutic ketones, and having therapeutic ketones in your system, which is something you already have in your system, you just don't have a lot of them, but having more therapeutic ketones in your system help you metabolize fat. Simple like that. It helps get you into ketosis, helps get you into the fat burning mode. Some people can get into ketosis themselves very easily. Some people can't get into ketosis at all. I can tell you that if I don't drink my Keto OS and I eat just about anything with a reasonable amount of carbs, 10, 20 grams of carbs, it's going to knock me out of ketosis. So the Keto OS is my kind of insurance policy, right? It keeps the therapeutic ketones in, and it keeps me somewhat insulated from falling out of ketosis, so that I can stay in the fat burning state. So what else? Fact, when I took it regularly, when I took Keto OS regularly, I ate better, I felt better, and I ate less. Okay. And again, that's having that therapeutic ketones in your body makes you not have those cravings, or at least it makes me not have the carb cravings and the sugar cravings and the crazy cravings at night. When I don't have a Keto OS in the afternoon or in the late evening, I notice that around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I try to go to bed about 8:30, 9 o'clock, so that's maybe why also I notice it, that I start getting hungry. Usually I try to drink a water or try to drink a Keto OS at that point, but I usually don't want to get to that point. I want to make sure that I'm taking my Keto OS regularly, and I haven't been. I also know that I wasn't getting any exercise. You know, I had a goal of getting 10,000 steps a day in. I haven't been doing that. I haven't been going to the gym, and I haven't been exercising. So, you know, that's it. And I know that when I took my Keto OS twice a day, that I actually had more energy, and I actually felt like working out and felt like walking more often. When I don't take it twice a day, I'm a little, especially when I take one in the morning. I'm pretty good about taking one in the morning. It's usually the afternoon and the evening, that time that I kind of space off, get busy, and forget about it. But that's the time when I notice that I'm really getting tired, and I'm not as motivated to do things. So, you know, fact, when I did these things, I lost weight when I didn't do them. I didn't lose weight. Now, I didn't gain a lot of weight because I was still taking a keto OS at least once a day, and I was still eating more or less a low carb, high fat diet, but I wasn't getting in enough fats, I'm sure. I probably was getting in enough protein, or maybe even too much protein, but I'm sure my carbs were up. And I say I'm sure because I'm not really sure, because I didn't track it either. I didn't put it into my Fitness Pal and track what I was eating. So that was another one of the issues. So if I know all the facts, you know, what do? I just go back and change the things that I'm not doing, and start doing those things. You know, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't sit and blame everybody else for, you know, why you had fast food 3 times today. I haven't anything to eat yet today. This is about 9:30, and I'm probably not going to eat till noon. That's my goal every day. Pretty much is 11, 12 o'clock, after 11, anyways. And I'll tell you in a minute why. Um, but I know what I need to do, so I just need to do it, right. Well, now, instead of having a little pity party and complaining, I'm going to go and start what I'm going to call phase two, and I'm going to start that today. And basically, phase two is just doing the things that I know I need to do, making a habit out of them, right? So here's my daily habit, right? Drink Keto OS 3 times a day, okay? Once between 6 and 9, once between noon and 3, and once between 6 and 9. Now, I'm saying 3 times a day because I know me. I know what happened this last year, and I know that in the afternoons I get busy, or in the evenings I get busy. I'm going to be coaching wrestling 2 days a week again, so I'm not going to be sitting at home at those times. I'm going to be getting back from practice, so I know things are going to happen. So if I focus on drinking it 3 times a day, chances are that I'll average at least 2 times a day, right? So I'm just upping my ability to average. Now, you know, check to see how your body takes therapeutic ketones. I've not had any issue with taking Keto OS 3 times a day. I know lots of people that do. But that's an individual thing, right? I mean, test it out for yourself and make sure that you're okay with it. Secondly, walk, run, or crawl 60 minutes a day, or 10,000 steps, whichever one comes first. Okay, walk, run, or crawl. If I don't feel like going and for a run or getting on the elliptical, I at least walk. Walk and read a book, walk and read a magazine, do something. So I'm committing myself to walk, run, or crawl 60 minutes a day, or 10,000 steps, whichever comes first. Okay? Stay on the 7-Eleven diet. Have you ever heard of the 7-Eleven diet? It's something that I invented. I made a video about it, I don't know, a couple months ago. But basically, it's just a play on words. The 7-Eleven diet basically is don't eat before 11 a.m. and don't eat after 7 p.m. It's basically intermittent fasting, right? It gives your body, so if you eat at 7 p.m., it's going to take your body a couple hours to digest whatever you've eaten. So that's 9 o'clock. So about the time you're going to sleep, or for me, hopefully I am asleep, your body is going to run out of the sugar and glucose from whatever you ate, right? Because just about everything has some carbs in it, right? So you're going to run out of that, and it's going to be easier for you to kick into a fat burning state, especially if you took a keto OS, you know, like right after your dinner. That'll be good because you'll have those therapeutic ketones in your system as well. And then you'll be in fat burning mode all night long. And most people go into a fat burning mode anyways, because at some point in time, whatever food that they ate is the sugar and the carbs converting to sugars are going to burn off, right? And that's why it's so bad at eating late at night, because if you eat a bunch of sugar late at night, then it takes you farther and you don't get into that fat burning, you get into fat storage. But you get into this fat burning stage, and it takes you into the morning. And when you wake up, I don't ever really feel hungry in the morning. I don't usually even start getting hungry till sometime after 9, 10 o'clock. So for me, not eating breakfast is good. And people say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that's for people that are on the standard American diet or the modern American diet, the MAD, the SAD, whatever you want to call it. And that basically says that you've got to eat every 2 hours to keep sugar in your system through carbs, right? So they tell you to eat breakfast, then eat a snack, eat lunch, then eat a snack, eat dinner, then eat a snack. They're telling you to eat every 2 hours. That keeps the sugar. For guys like me that have insulin resistance and have sugar issues, I don't want any sugar in my body. I've already got enough. I've already got more than enough. I've got sugar issues. So I don't want to be eating carbs, and I don't want to be eating natural or man-made sugar substitutes. So anyways, 7-Eleven diet. Don't eat after 7 p.m. Don't eat before 11 a.m. Give your body that time to repair itself and rest. There's reasons why fasting is in the Bible. There's reasons why people fast. There's reasons why when you read some of the personal development books, you'll hear a lot of the people that are excelling in business go through a fasting period. It's part of their regular regimen. So do that. I haven't built up to being able to fast for multiple days yet. So if I can go from 7 to 11 the next day, that gives me 15 hours of fasting. So that's good. Give my body that time to repair. Then eat a good high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet. Okay, low carb, high fat diet. If you don't know what to eat, just Google keto and whatever it is you want to eat. Keto pizza, keto meatloaf, keto casserole, keto chicken, and there'll be all kinds of recipes for very good high fat, low carb recipes. And that's where I get all mine. I usually print like 3 or 4 similar recipes out. Then I pick the best parts, the things that I like about each recipe, and then I make my own. And I don't know how to cook small, so I usually end up making pretty big batches of things. And then I use the seal a meal kind of deals to seal up individual meals, and I put those in the freezer for myself. And then I take them also to my friends at church. They really dig the food and the creativity, and I make a crustless pizza that's really good. I've got a couple things that I make that are really casserole. I got a cauliflower casserole that's really good, and so they like that. And my in-laws like it. I go over and have lunch with them, and you can take the seal and meal bags and either cut them open and microwave them, cut them open, put them in a boiling water, and then cut them open, or cut it open, take it out, and then warm it up however you want. And it actually is really good. It keeps that stuff pretty good. So anyways, I'm going on and on. So let's keep moving on. So most people say, I've been taking Keto OS, or I've been on a low carb, high fat diet, and I just can't lose weight. I would suggest that maybe the reason you can't lose weight is because you're eating things, or you're getting in sugar and carbs that you're not aware of. And I say that because that's what happened to me. When I put things into, I use the app called MyFitnessPal. It's a free app. You can get it from any smartphone. If I put the things in there, it gives me a calorie counter, but more importantly, it gives me a macronutrients counter. It tells me how many fats and how many sugars and how much protein I've been getting. So I really like that app, but I got away from using it. So I need to use that every day. So I need to use it not before I eat, not after I eat, but while I'm eating, I need to be plugging it in because the food's right there in front of me. I know exactly what I'm eating. I need to plug it in at that point in time. I think people who say that they can't lose weight, oftentimes, not everybody, not every situation, but oftentimes, it's because they're eating more than they think. Oh, well, I just had chicken. Well, where'd you have chicken from? Well, I had a chicken sandwich from the fast food place. Okay, that's not just chicken. That's the chicken, that's the breading, that's the oil, that's the bread, and all of that stuff is super, super bad for you. So, because it's highly refined, that's the biggest part. But so if you're gonna have chicken, right? Have some chicken with the skin on, broiled. Have chicken, in a pan, sautéed, or on the grill, or however you like it. But don't think that a chicken breast cooked on the grill is anywhere near the same thing as fast food. I mean, everybody's going to say, well, of course not. believe me, our mind plays tricks on us and convinces us that it's okay to go through the drive-through because it's just a little bit of grease, it's just a little bit of carbs. No, it's a lot of grease and a lot of carbs. It'll blow your entire day and maybe even your entire week in ketosis by going through fast food one time. So keep that in mind. And then also, I need to be testing my blood glucose and my blood ketones every single day, and I got away from doing that again. And what that does, especially for people who say I'm in ketosis, I'm eating really well, I'm peeing on the little test strips, and I'm in ketosis. I have the test strips and I use them from time to time, but to be honest with you, the blood meter is the only one that I trust. When I do the blood meter, it tells me what my glucose levels are, and then I can do the ketone one. It'll tell me if I'm in ketosis or not. The ketosis strips are kind of expensive. They're about $250 each. So if you do that every day, you're talking about a little bit of money. But the glucose strips are cheap. They're like 30 or 40 cents. So I do a glucose. I used to. I need to get back to it. I used to do a glucose every single day, and then I do ketones. Maybe every day for a while, and then get to doing them once or twice a week just to kind of check and balance and make sure. You can really kind of tell if your glucose levels are pretty high, the odds are you're not in ketosis. So if your glucose levels are low, if your glucose levels are under 100 or right around 100, then you're probably in ketosis. If your glucose levels are higher than that, you're probably not. Now that's not a perfect rule of thumb. If you're heavier and you've got insulin issues, and if you're really really skinny, I mean there's all kinds of variations there. But as a rule of thumb, you can test your glucose to get at least an idea, and that really helps me. That really, I mean, every time I've tested my glucose and it's been high, I can think back and say, what did I eat? What did I eat? I had a bunch of grapes and strawberries. Let me see how much sugar is in grapes and strawberries, and you'll find that in berries there's not as much, but grapes are very high. Watermelon's very high. Any kind of melon, most melons are high. If you're going to have berries, try to have blueberries and blackberries and the smaller berries with lots of antioxidants and less sugar. Less fructose. Fructose is sugar. Or you drink a glass of milk and say, I didn't eat anything with sugar in it. Okay, milk has lactose in it. Toast. O-S-E. Toast. Fructose, lactose, glucose. That's all sugar. So anyhow, and you every time I look back, I find the food that caused it to go up. One of my big ones was, darn that popcorn. It was popcorn. It's light. It had real butter on it. It had a little bit of sea salt on it. Yeah, popcorn's not good for you. So anyhow, all right. So that's my plan. All I've got to do is stick to it, right? But here's the deal. I'm going to stumble. It's going to happen. I've already done it. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to work this plan, and I'm going to try to stick to it as much as I possibly can, and I'm going to really dedicate to it. But when I stumble, that's okay, because I know how to look at what I did and be real with myself and be honest with myself, and I know how to change it, and then I know how to get back onto plan, and I know how to keep going. So I don't have to have a pity party. I don't have to, spiral down and take 2 or 3 months or 4 months like I just did to get back on a program. I should be able to get right back. So I'm recommitting myself today to phase 2, to lose another 50 pounds in the next 12 months. And I've already done it once, so losing another 50 pounds shouldn't be that big a deal because I already know what the plan is. And I just need to do that. So I'm going to leave it with that. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. Email me at anthony@anthonyflatt.com. You can visit my website, Anthony Flatt. You can leave me comments here, and I'll respond to the comments. I'm not on YouTube every single day, so my email is better. And then you can also find me on LinkedIn. You can message me on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn for business, so I'm on LinkedIn a lot. So just reach out to me. I'll help you any way I can. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to give you any doctor advice, but I can tell you what's worked for me and maybe give you some advice and help you along the way. And that's part of my own personal little ministry, and I appreciate the opportunity to do that. And if I can help anybody, I certainly will. Okay? Take care.